They have it in Nevada there. How come I don't see bros going over there and touching little kids and deleting women and putting them and stuffing them in suitcases? How come you don't see them? They have it in Germany. They have it in Amsterdam. They have it all over the United States. There are way more prostitutes than entire cities of human beings in Colombia. So once again, we have another Passport Bro defender making another dumb comment. And I'm going to repeat that. I'm going to make an answer to the dumb comment because Passport Bros like to ask me for the millionth, 10,000th time, bajillion time, the same dumb question. Well, why didn't you make it illegal? It is not legal because it's protected by the Constitution. This is not for your PP boy behavior. This is not for your PP boy benefit. This is for their protection. And when I mean there, I'm not talking about women only. I'm talking about men also and transgenders. You see people, we see them as human beings. You don't. You see them as sex objects and little sex toys. Okay. In the United States, there are way more prostitutes than entire cities of human beings in Colombia. However, the difference is that in Colombia, we understand that people have a human right to be treated like a decent person. Therefore, due to the law, if you do not pay them, you will go to jail. If you hit them, you will go to jail. If you try to swindle them and change the price, you will go to jail. If you berate them, you will go to jail. And guess who has done these things? Passport bros. I have seen passport bros hitting street workers. I have seen passport bros denigrating street workers. I have videos of passport bros changing the price and then fighting with street workers, not just the Colombians, but the Venezuelans as well. And guess what? They can go to the cops and they can go to the hospital and they can go to the doctor. In the United States, you don't have that. Okay. If somebody hits them, they're afraid to go to the police. If someone steals from them, they're afraid to go to the police because what they're doing is illegal. And just like I told the other passport bro knucklehead, if it is illegal in your country, why are you supporting going to another country? Let me tell you something that you don't understand. Okay. The law of the United States doesn't stop when you cross that border because you are their citizen. You understand me? So if they really wanted to, which they don't, but if they really wanted to, they can prosecute you for going looking for sex, paid for play in another country. You don't believe me? Let me explain something to you. If you can go to another country where it is legal to marry an underage person, let's say if they're 12, but in the United States, the legal age is 18, they will prosecute you and they will arrest you. The problem is that they don't want to bother with it, but if they really wanted to, they really could. And if it's illegal in your country, why are you doing something that is illegal in your country in another country? Why are you doing something that is considered illegal and immoral in your country in another country? You don't have morality. That's the issue. You don't understand. You do not have morality. It's a double standard. You cannot claim to have a higher ground. Okay? You understand me? And you talk about get the pros off the streets. Well, let me tell you another secret that you don't know. Most of the women are not in the streets like you think it is. Most of the country is not like Medellin. I actually seen many people go to Cali and they got to come back with the tails between their legs. You want to know why? Because they don't have an open venue like they do in Medellin. Medellin is the exception. Okay, Cartagena too. Medellin is the exception, Cartagena too, because in Colombia they have what they call as tolerance zones, red zones. That is far away from the churches, far away from businesses, far away from little kids. But those places are dangerous, and that's the reason why they want to keep it that way. That was something that's supposed to be maintained and hidden. You don't act like it's all over the place because most of Colombia is a deeply conservative Catholic country. I can take you to many different towns and cities, which I know you will not go to because you're afraid. You're afraid of going outside of that. You're afraid of seeing something else and different. You're afraid of culture. So don't give me those type of things. You are a hypocrite. It says get the pros like they did off the streets with Sosua. Well, if you do follow the news, you would understand that the mayor of Cartagena, he basically doesn't allow them to hang around the walled city. Why? Because the locals were complaining. The locals were tired of seeing this debaucherous behavior. Because when I first used to go to Cartagena, because my ex-girlfriend is from Cartagena and I dated her for 5 years. When you first got there, you will see families out at night, 10 o'clock at night with the children dancing and everything else like that. And then when you guys took over, the Passport Bro community took over, it became an obscene place where things were happening. And guess what the mayor did? They're not allowed to hang out there. I was there not too long ago for my birthday. And guess what happened? Because I have friends that work in the tourism industry, and I was hanging out with my friends because I was waiting for them to get up from work. And guess what? As soon as the girls came around, the police came by and shoot them off. and they did not allow that. They're going to have to go somewhere else. Could be dangerous, but they're going to have to go somewhere else, hidden away. Same thing in, if you look at parquilleras, many passport bros are complaining because people are not allowed to go solicit. If you go there soliciting, the police will go by there. That's why there's such a heavy police presence right there. So I can tell by what you're saying is that you are a North American who has not been to Colombia yet, and you have absolutely no idea what the landscape looks like. Let me show you something. Do you see this cathedral? Do you see this behind me? Do you know where this is? I guarantee you have no idea what this is. This is an influencer that I follow. She's from Boyacá. She's Boyacense. I can guarantee you have absolutely no idea what a Boyacense is. I guarantee you that you don't understand that the people of Medellin are paisas. Depending on which part of paisa area that you're at, you can change a little bit. Do you understand the difference between a paisa? This is the real Colombia. How many prostitutes do you see walking around there? None. Most of Colombia is like this. Conservative, very respectful, churchy, and I guarantee you won't be in a church. You see this? Supposedly, you guys want to be international husband, traditional men, passport bros, and things. Do you know what this is? These are people from Boyacá. Do you know what they're dancing? Is this garanga? I'm not sure what type of dance that is. Okay? You say you want a traditional woman? This is how a traditional Colombian woman looks like, covered from head to toe. No boobs hanging out, no plastic surgery, no tattoos. She may have tattoos, but she's still very much. Is this something that you'll be interested in? I can guarantee you not. Do you understand that the Spanish is different than other people's Spanish and that each region of Colombia is different? Su merced. You know what su merced means? Thy mercy. How can I help you, thy mercy? No problem, thy mercy. I'm going to help you, thy mercy. Not only in Boyacá, but also in the Cundinamarca and also the Bogota area. But no, you guys want to promote this online. And you're telling me that I believe that you guys want to come for culture and everything else. And well, why don't you get off the streets? Well, guess what? Most of the streets are not like these are the streets of La Guajira province. Do you have an idea what the Guajira province is? No? Do you know who these women are? These are Wayu peoples. And the Wayu is like one of the largest ethnic indigenous groups in northern part of Colombia. And do you want to know what's so special about them? Okay, they are related to the Taino indigenous people of Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, and Cuba, and all in the Caribbean, because they are an Arawak. For those who don't understand, the word Arawak is a linguistic group, like Spanish and French and Italian. They're related. They're part of Romance group because they come from Latin. These are long distance cousins of the Puerto Rican Taino Indians that are now have been whose culture came to be destroyed by the Europeans, and who are the remaining Taino peoples, Puerto Rico and the other islands, who have some type of ancestry. They get put down and they say you're not real indigenous. Same thing that you passport bros do. You come to Colombia and tell us what we are, what we're not. Okay, and these people are desert peoples. They're tough, both on the Colombian side and the Venezuelan side. Okay, and they still speak the native language, and a lot of them are not mixed. Some of them are mixed, but not all. Most of them, there's a lot of them that are not mixed. Do you care about this? I can guarantee you that this person whom I'm responding to had no idea that these people existed. You say, well, why don't you get them off the streets? This is how most of Colombia looks like. These are the streets of Colombia. These are the streets of Colombia. The other one was Neiva. I think this is Ibagué. You have no idea where Neiva is. You have no idea where Ibagué is. It is mostly a Catholic country. It is more, and even the people that are not Catholic, they're so deeply some type of Christian denomination. My ex girlfriend, she is from the Four Square Church, Pentecostal. Her brother, who used to be in the streets, decided to become a pastor, and I fight with him all the time because I am a strong Catholic, and I will not anybody disrespect my Catholic upbringing, my Catholic teaching. You know who this is, right? This is Papa Francisco, Pope Francis. And then you get people like this guy say, "You're just jealous because we have more." What do you call it? I don't know what you say. He has more ability to get women. I know he doesn't. You honestly think that you compare this guy to me that he can get more women? Come on. All right, passport bros, you guys are the same, white or black, and say, well, why don't you get them off the streets? How about you get yourself off the streets? How about you stop getting to debaucherous areas? How about you stop flying to do ghetto tourism and do some real tourism? And this is why the black women and the white women of the United States and the indigenous women of the United States, Latino women, Asians, they are superior to you when they fly down to Colombia. And for the men out there who says I travel for travel, yes, I have met men who do travel to Colombia for culture, black men, white men, Asian men, indigenous men. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about to the passport bro.